well, because many times in my life, I had a thought, I had a vision, and I just thought I was kind of talking to myself, and then all of a sudden something shows up in my life, and I went, the universe is listening to every thought, everything. So the universe hears and responds to our every desire, and even hears our whispers. The universe, God, source, your own soul, your own higher self, wants to help us and give us what we need. Maybe not always what we want, but give us what we need. And I know I've shared this story with you before, but I was in a thrift store once, and the gentleman in there, I brought an item up to the counter, and I said, how much? And he said, well, that depends. If you need it, it's going to cost you very little, but if you want it, I'm going to have to charge you a lot. So, so since then, I always check in with myself when I go out in the world and I'm shopping or I'm, acquiring something. Is this a need, or is it a want? Now, I'm not saying that to want something is negative or it's bad, not at all. But I feel that when we focus on what we need, it's very basic. What are some of the things that we need? Love, peace, food, shelter, and I'm sure we can create a long list with that, right? It's very basic, our needs. So I love that when we're open, just when we're open. Sometimes I will stop and talk to a homeless person or this guy in the store, for instance. And when we're open-minded, I feel like we can always learn something from everyone, from anyone, especially children. I've learned a lot from children. So just stay open. So have you noticed that some people seem to get what they want, while others continue to struggle? I hear from folks generally, and even my clients, hey, I asked for a new car, or a house, or the perfect relationship, and I'm still waiting. And look at my friends over there. They just seem to get everything that they asked for. But maybe on the outside, it looks like they got everything that they asked for. But perhaps it likely came with a lot of challenges that we're not aware of, right? Because it didn't align with what their soul needed. And that's the key. When you are in alignment with your soul, with your spirit, with your own higher awareness, then you get everything that you need. Everything. So my response to anyone is to just check in with yourself. Are you in alignment? You keep asking for this, asking for that, wanting this, wanting that. Is that in alignment with your journey? So perhaps everything that you ask for and receive isn't always in alignment for your progress. And it just might be that others who seemingly get what they want, maybe they are in alignment with their own soul path, right? I cannot begin to tell you how much the universe, God, your spirit guides, angels, desire to help you on your spiritual and this 3D journey. I can completely vouch for that. So if anyone has doubt about that, come talk to me. The universe is always here, wanting to supply us, support us, and give us everything that we need for our journey. However, the key is when we ask, we have to be clear. We have to be specific. We have to get the details right. Because if you just sort of say, hey, I want a car, you could end up with maybe a car from 1950 that doesn't have an engine in it, right? Oh, that's not what I asked for. Did you think about the details? Did you envision what you want? Did you sit in stillness and then ask? So it's a good idea once in a while to just stop and reevaluate your spiritual progress, your journey. This is one of the reasons that I believe in the power of journaling. It gives you the opportunity to be in awareness of lessons learned and those that you still need to pay attention to. It's just a great way to gauge your progress. So, journaling. This is something that I've done even when I went through, my illness. This is one of the things that actually helped me. I mean, I'd start out by journaling things like, I won't use the words I said, but why me? Why did this have to happen to me? And I would start journaling and start writing. And then what I found happened was that after a while, all of a sudden awareness would show up on a piece of paper, right? This is why you're going through this. This is what you can now do about it. So journaling can be very, very powerful. This process also means that you can make some short-term goals that might be easier to reach. So I'm going to pass out some sheets. Actually, I'll put them on the table afterwards, out front, or they're right there. Oh, they're right there by the book. And this is something just as a reminder. I don't know about you, but I constantly need reminders. Right, Amara? We teach, we do our spiritual work, but every once in a while I need someone to nudge me and go, hey. So this is just something to remind you as you set clear intentions, if there's something that you want or need in your life. So it always begins with an idea or a thought. Then you write it down in your journal. Then you be in stillness and meditation. And then ask in that stillness, is this in alignment for my journey? Not for Joe's journey or Corinne's journey, but is this in alignment for my journey? What do I need to know right now? By the way, that simple sentence right there is very powerful. When you go into meditation, into stillness, and you just say, what do I need to know right now? I guarantee you the answer will seep up. And then, guess what? We need to take action steps, right? I know so many people, I've done it. I write stuff down, this is what I want to do, that's the direction I want to go in, and then I put the book down. If I don't take any physical action in my outer world, then nothing happens, right? Always check in with your higher self, check in with whatever your beliefs are, and write it in your journal. So as you make progress, just keep writing it down, and I guarantee you what your dream or desire is, as long as it's in alignment and you take these steps, it will come to fruition. So, and I just wrote, remember, we may ask for one thing we think we need, and sometimes we get something else. Or the thing we asked for did not provide that good feeling or inner joy. Instead, however, it helped us grow. So, that's all about perception, right? So sometimes we get something else rather than what we asked for, and we look at it like, it's negative and it's a challenge, and I didn't want this. But if we stop long enough, take a few deep breaths and go into stillness, all of a sudden we find that, wow, there is a lesson here. I can grow from this. And as I grow and I become more in alignment with my soul and my spirit, then I get exactly what I need in that moment. Okay, let's see, where was I? So you can gauge your progress by writing, by going through this process, and you'll have that as a reminder. And you'll also move closer to being in alignment with your journey. So can we simply ask for what we need or want? Perhaps even write it down. But what happens if we don't make any changes in our daily lives? If we don't take any action steps? So when I was younger, I remember a time where I found myself, and this is way back, I was attracted to this boy, and I would look at him from a distance, all dreamy-eyed. But I was too shy to say anything. Can you imagine me shy?
No.
I was very shy. And so I wouldn't say anything to him. I would just look at him whenever he's coming by and just be, googly-eyed, as we say.
Oh.
And the end result, I didn't take any action. The end result of that, my girlfriend went over and spoke to him, and guess what?
She got him.
They became boyfriend and girlfriend, right?
Oh.
But she took some action. Another time later on in life, I think I was 13 then, by the way. So another time later on in life, I remember people talking about a project, and they were sharing that, hey, if you invest in this, if you go in this direction, it's going to be wonderful for you financially. And I was afraid. I let fear hold me back. I was like, this is all I have. If I do this, what if it fails? And I didn't take any action. And guess what happened? I watched all these people become very successful. So, lesson learned. So the list goes on, right? And the point is, we can't just wish and ask for something. We must also be willing to take action steps in our lives. If you do nothing, you get nothing. So as I said, the universe wants us to have what we need. But when we receive answers and guidance from the universe and we follow through, I believe, this is my belief, I believe there's a celebration on the spiritual realms. Because I've come to believe through my own journey that when you grow and when you grow and when you grow and when you learn something and you grow, everyone on planet Earth grows. We may not see it or be aware of it. And everyone and everything on all dimensions and realms, if you will, also grow. So just kind of take that in, food for thought. Just my experience. I believe we all have an effect on everyone, even though we may not see it. And the reason is because we're one. We're not really separated. We might think we are. But because we're one, what I do and what you do affects everyone else. My own personal belief is that as we ask and listen and take action and expand our own awareness, attaining soul growth, that our guides, as I said, also grow and reach higher levels. I believe that every single one of us, like I said, does affect everyone else here, outside in our community, and the whole universe. So I want to focus for a moment on just being in alignment with your soul path. What does that mean? So we tend to compare ourselves in our lives with others, right? Does anybody here do that?
That's what we're taught.
Right? I do. Hey, come on, I know you guys, your hands need to be up there. So, I mean, I've done that. I've gotten better at it. I've worked on it, and I've gotten better at it. Maybe we have done all the work to make changes on many levels, and still we feel like life is a struggle. There is a way out of the struggle. Step one, discover what your life purpose is. When you have that clarity in your mind, you can then take action steps to be in alignment with your own path. Stop. Stop comparing yourself to others. Stop. Their path can be very different from yours because their lessons are specific for their own growth. Be in acceptance of what is. And I love this. Stay in your lane. This is what I say to myself all the time when I find myself scattered and, oh, but she's doing this work already. I shouldn't go in that direction. And then I go, Anne, stop. Stay in your lane. And it changes. It actually wakes me up and makes me get back in my lane, so to speak. Remember, you probably chose to have the life experiences you're currently having for your own soul growth. I'm going to say this again because maybe it's something you need to process and think about, or maybe you get it. But remember that you probably chose your life experiences so that your soul can continue to grow. And when I say that, whenever I'm speaking, I say that, it's like, what do you mean I chose? I'm going through this, I'm going through that. What do you mean I chose? And, sometimes people are upset about the fact that, hey, how could I have chosen this? But when you sit in stillness, whatever that is for you, when you sit in stillness, when you go into that deeper place within yourself, and you process all of this information that we just talked about, like, why did I choose this? What are the lessons I can learn? Those are the questions you don't ask here, because the monkey mind is not going to give you the answer you need to be in alignment with your life. So you need to go in stillness and then ask that question. Also, change your perception. Are we looking at what we're going through in our lives as a challenge? Or are we going, yeah, it's another opportunity for me to learn and grow? Wow. Now, I know it takes a lot for us to get to that place. But when you do, when you change your perception and you change your reaction to whatever it is you're dealing with in life, you find peace. You find inner peace. So once you find your niche and begin to live in alignment with your soul path, everything unfolds and life becomes effortless. It does. And I've seen moments of that. It's not consistent, but when I am in alignment, when I am living my purpose, I feel like my life is effortless. Everything becomes effortless. But the most important thing is that you are clear about your journey, your lessons, and you see everything as an opportunity. So if you ever feel you were off your path because of a challenge, the first question becomes, what did I learn from that experience? Perhaps I will write in my journal, so when the next opportunity or situation comes along, I will know exactly what to do. So, would you like to have constant joy in your life?
Yes.
No?
Yeah.
Would you like to have constant joy in your life?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So I don't mean that you will always display the feeling of joy and everything will be perfect, but you will always display the feeling of joy and that is going on at your core, no matter what. And what I mean by that is that, people that they may have stuff going on in their lives, maybe like Joe. But there's always a big smile, right? And so, you pick up on that energy with certain people, that there's joy, even though they're dealing with stuff in their outer world, right? And so, you can have that. We all can have that. The universe wants us to have that. So, have clarity on your path. Be specific. Ask the universe to guide you. I have found that meditation, being in stillness, and asking for clarity and guidance in that space can be very powerful and allows for the inner knowing of you. Who am I? What is my purpose in this lifetime? When we seek answers, like I said, from the monkey mind, we tend to not get what is in alignment for us, right? Because the monkey mind is going, well, why can't I have that? Or why can't I have her or him? Or, right? But when we ask from that stillness, from that place within, then we get what is in alignment for our path, our journey. Because our mind is full of all kinds of beliefs and energy that doesn't serve us, right? I'm trying to I can't remember the famous football player, I think it was, many years ago, and became a famous line. The mind is a terrible thing to waste, was what he said. And then years later, someone on the spiritual path said, The mind is a terrible thing. So- and I thought that was perfect, right?
Yeah.
So, these are the questions to ask when in stillness, where your higher self, your guides, or God, whatever you believe in, responds. Be in acceptance and gratitude for the opportunities, not challenges. Be in acceptance and gratitude for the opportunities, not challenges. And know that the universe hears your every whisper and wants to support you. And last but not least, be open to receiving. Be open to receiving. So I want to read my affirmation and just take 2 minutes and guide you into stillness. And perhaps in that few moments that you drop within, you can say, I am one with the universe, and I have access to all that I need. So take a deep breath, close your eyes if you will. And you know, I always like to start out with thank you. Thank you for that breath of life. Thank you for this moment. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. Just be in gratitude for just that breath. And as you breathe in with each breath, allow yourself to drop down deeper within yourself, into that space within you that you all know it's still, there's no mind, no time. And with each breath, allow yourself to drop down deeper into that space. And just notice, there's no judgment. You're just simply noticing that there's a quiet space within you. And that is the most powerful place within each of us. So in this moment, just ask inwardly and quietly, what is my purpose? What is my path? And just allow the answers to come to you. I'm going to leave you with that. And perhaps as you continue on your journey and at home, you can keep asking that question as you drop down deep within yourself. What is my purpose? What is my path? And just listen. Listen, because when you ask, the universe hears you and wants to provide you with everything that you need to be in alignment with your journey here and now. Thank you all for listening.